Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. In this show, I'm going to give you some tips on how to stick with a fitness program. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, owner of PutYourselfFirst.com, and also a health and fitness coach. Helped thousands of people get success on their health and fitness journey. And the reason for it was I struggled with some weight gain and depression after I lost my wife in a car crash. And I realized that I needed to take control and ended up learning many different things to empower oneself along the way. And along the way, I got healthy and fit. So since that time, I've been devoting myself to helping others improve their lives. So I'm paying it forward for you. Whether you're listening to the audio podcast here or just seeing me on the live video, I welcome you. Glad to have you here. And I'm just going to jump in. I know it's easy to talk yourself out of a workout. How many of us have done that, Even though you set the best intentions, excuses seem to come so easily, don't they? I ask you, what excuses do you tend to use? I'll wait and listen to them all. We could probably do a whole podcast on excuse lists, right? But anyway, to stay in the game, use these tips, whether you're just starting out or if you've been at this for years. I think we all come, if we've been working out for a while, and a lot of the audience here has at least started a workout program at some point, you know what? A lot of times we ended up having those struggles, and it's just real stuff. But the first thing is to be your own motivation. A lot of times people come to me and say, oh, you know what? I just need the motivation. And they're looking for some external factor to motivate them. But nobody can motivate you except you. You know what? You got to just set the mindset that you're going to get. You got to set aside the mindset that you're going to get fit for a wedding or a vacation or some sort of reunion. That's a temporary thing. And a lot of times people like to fantasize that they're going to continue that. But most often people just go back to old unhealthy habits after that event. And then they feel more frustrated, gain more weight. They realize the work that they had to put in to get to that. So the bottom line is you got to be internally motivated and strive to love exercise because you're worth it and you deserve it. And I know this is a process. I'm not always the biggest fan of working out. If I could be fit and in shape without working out, that would be the easiest, right? But it takes time. And, just the lifelong healthy habits that you embrace, that's going to be the motivation for yourself, showing up every day. But you got to do that. Second tip here is baby steps. I know so many people out there that want to do this all or nothing type of thing. Don't be that all or nothing type of person. Strive to just get a little bit better each day. People don't realize how things compound, even when you just show up and just do little things each day. And if you don't do this, oh my gosh, even when you're starting a workout program, a lot of times you're like, I got this. I'm lifting more weight and doing more reps than I thought I would out of the gate. And then incredible. Then you tweak something or you injure something. You know what? That ends up bringing about the excuses from before, right? Think of it this way. If you're going to train to run a marathon and you had never, hadn't been running in a long time, you aren't going to start with a 10-mile run right out of the gate. You're going to just do baby steps to move you forward, just a little bit at a time, and then progressively get better and better as you get stronger and stronger. So that's it. Baby steps number 2. Number 3 is to be determined. Some workouts and exercises just take time to get good form down and to flow. It takes practice. Especially, some of the workouts, I've done some MMA stuff. I've done some that are more of a, just a more choreographed type of workout. And you feel like you're tripping over yourself or you're all over the place. Think of yoga. Oh my gosh. I was all over and falling over. And it'd be very easy to just get frustrated and say no more. But little by little, and this was it for me, I used to give that up. And I said, skip that. I don't need to be frustrated at my workout. But when I gave it a fair shot and said, you know what, I'm going to practice and get better, I did get better, and it made all the other workouts better. So be determined with your workouts that it's just going to take time. Maybe that tip should be patient too. So that's tip number 3, is to be determined. And I'll throw in there, be determined and patient. Number 4 is variety is the spice of life. Do different types of workouts to keep your workout, targeting different muscle groups. That's going to prevent boredom, okay? And it's going to just target everything. That's what I love about our fitness programs, is that they target everything. They're filled with a variety of moves to enable you, challenge you, make you better, and they're proven. They work. But there's a lot of other programs out there, if you're not doing the ones like I do, that are effective, but follow a plan. But a lot of times people will just go and they're like, you know what, I'll get on an elliptical. And while that's great for part of a workout, day after day after day after day can be kind of mundane, and you want to vary it up, and your body's going to get used to it anyway, and then the results are you're going to find that plateau. So that's it. Variety is the spice of life is number 4. Number 5 is to work out with friends. These are the people that are going to rally you on. They're going to support you. They're going to motivate you. Now you want to find friends that are actually that are there to help you along and not take you out of the game. This is why I created a health and fitness group that we use. We either use an app or we also use a Facebook group where we hold each other accountable and we support each other. A lot of times we fall off track, and we're there to help each other. We are actually better together. And our next group, if you're interested in it, it's starting very soon. And just comment below or message me. Whisk me an email, perry@putyourselffirst.com, and let me know that you'd like to join, and I will get you all the details to get you in on that and join our little community to work out with friends. Number 6, you control the time. Hey, we're all busy. The times I hear, life is so busy, so life is so crazy. If I only had the time. Oh my gosh, we all have the same amount of time. We got to prioritize things. So we would all like to have the time to get in an hour workout during the day, but sometimes it just doesn't happen often. It just doesn't happen. But still, strive to get in 20 or 30-minute session. There were times when I wanted to get in an hour and either I didn't feel like it, I was too tired, I was overscheduled. I'm like, you know what? I'm committing to at least 20 minutes. And often after I was in the flow of things, it ran into like 30 or 45 minutes. The other thing you can do is do half the workout in the morning and the other half in the afternoon or later in the day. So you're really the one to master the clock. And if you really want to master that clock, set the alarm 45 minutes earlier before you work out. I know it sounds crazy, but you know what? You will actually control the day. You'll probably have the energy to conquer through the day. And just before your day gets crazy busy, you have your workout done. So that's number 6. Number 7, that kind of follows up with conquering your time, is make it routine. Just make exercise as much of a habit as brushing your teeth. Easier said than done, but not really. I mean, you can actually schedule it in, just make it a non-negotiable, and then it becomes part of the day. And so you've got to be the one to decide to do that, and you got to be the one to show up and not use any of the excuses that I was talking about earlier. The other one is to show up today. That's number 8. Okay, so you fall off the wagon, or maybe your cheat meal turned into a cheat weekend or a cheat week, or it turned into a huge gorge fest. Just forget the past and do today. Move forward. Forget it, because a lot of times people will be like, oh, so use. It's no use. I've fallen backwards. Just forget it and move forward with your health. Make it back to the routine. Get into that fitness routine, and you'll be back on track soon enough to do that. Number 9 is to be realistic. You probably aren't going to drop 30 pounds in your first week. And to tell you the truth, I'm not a big fan of the scale anyway. You already know that, right? If you've been listening to this podcast. I like going to a tape measure or belt loop notches or the way my clothes fit or just even my next one, I'll talk about this, but just strive to increase the weights or the reps or your endurance each week. That's a great way to know that you're measuring progress that way. But be realistic about what you're wanting to do. A lot of times people will, probably average about 50 pounds that they want to lose, and that's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time, which flows into number 10, keeping track. This is using a journal or some workout sheets or an app. A lot of times people use MyFitnessPal to that, or even fitness gadgets, the Garmin or the Fitbits and stuff like that. But the journal is also going to keep track of your progress, your emotions, your food. You keep track, and that's where you can find patterns that you can improve on. So that's another big one. Number 11, I know it's humbling, but it's to take pictures. This is one tip that, if you want the non-scale victories, take photos. Now, I know it's humbling to take that day 1 photo, probably day 30, day 60. But if you do a photo every 30 days, by the time you lay down day 1 and day 120, even could be day 90, you are going to notice some mind-blowing results if you've stuck to a plan and followed and did what you needed to do. That is a big indicator, is to just take pics. And my last tip for the day is just smart celebration. You're making progress, recognize yourself, acknowledge yourself, give yourself a pat on the back. It's going to take several weeks probably to notice results for your efforts, but don't reward yourself with a big night out or a big gorge fest, or don't reward yourself with food. Make it like clothing or an event. Maybe a concert or a movie without the popcorn and the soda and stuff. Even a pound of weight loss or a pound of muscle gain is a reason to reward yourself. Just keep going and be happy and celebrate those, and then get right back to it and keep going. So I hope these tips help to you. And you know what? Here's another thing that may help with your workout consistency. You can download my free book at myfitstart.com. It's a great way to start your day, as we talked about before. And that can give you a great mindset and get you in the flow. And you'll watch many, many other things happen throughout your day when you put those simple things into practice. And if you want to take it up a notch, head over to my course called Put Yourself First. That's course.putyourselfirst.com. You can take that little mini course, digs a little bit deeper into what's offered at myfitstart.com. So that's all I have for this week. I so appreciate you for subscribing. If you watch the video podcast, you may want to just go and find the audio version on iTunes. Or, if the video suits you, way cool. You can get it on iTunes. You can also find me over on YouTube. That's absolutely awesome. And you know what? While you're in that iTunes store, if you can give an honest review and rating, that would so be awesome, because it will help other people discover the podcast and be able to benefit from these tips. And if you found these tips helpful, please forward them on to anybody. Grab the link or head over to YouTube and forward the link, and people will be able to get the tips and be helped and served as well. So you absolutely rock. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.